This is who they've decided to defend. The user called for the repeal of the Civil Rights Act. He called for a eugenic immigration policy. He said the world should normalize Indian hate. Democratic Congressman Ro Khanna, who is Indian American and is here tonight, like Vance's wife, is also Indian American. He asked the vice president just a simple question on X. Are you going to tell him to apologize for saying, quote, normalize Indian hate before he is rehired into the government? Just asking for the sake of both of our kids. That apparently struck a nerve. Vance responded telling Khanna to grow up, adding, quote, racist trolls on the internet, while offensive, don't threaten my kids. But he says a culture that denies grace to people who make mistakes does. Vance went even further in another post, accusing Khanna of emotional blackmail of the DOGE staffer, adding, quote, you disgust me. Well, the congressman is here, so I want to start with you because I, for one, was flabbergasted by that exchange. How did you take it?
I was surprised that he reacted in the way he did. Look, I praised Usha Vance actually just a week and a half ago. I said, as an Indian American, I'm proud of her ascent as a second lady. And I've known Usha, I've known the vice president. And all I was saying is you have someone who's 25 years old who has made deeply offensive comments about Indian Americans, who has talked about repealing the Civil Rights Act, who has talked about his disapproval of interracial marriage. You're going to rehire him. Is he going to apologize? Is he going to have any accountability? No one is saying cancel him. But you can't just rehire him and say, okay, everything is fine, and he's going to represent the United States government.
Why not cancel him? Just asking. Because we're living in an era where we're being told that if you talk about diversity, you should be canceled out of the government. But you can post racist posts as of a month and a half ago and welcome in.
Yeah, in a world where DEI and critical race theory and affirmative action are under attack, I feel like we're protecting white supremacists and racists and attacking Black and brown people who want to be part of the fabric of the country. And I'm curious how the vice president would explain to his Indian children why he stood up for somebody who said normalize Indian hate. Like, what would he say? And that issue may not come up today.
He also called the guy a racist troll. He acknowledged that this person who he wants back in the government is racist.
Yeah. They obviously fired him in the first place, right? Why did they fire him?
Well, and I think there's two things that I see happening here. The first one is that this is the signal to his voters that we are going to let these things slide, that you can't be canceled anymore. For all of us, however, the other vast majority of Americans, we're standing by the fact that we are going to hold people accountable to that. And with all due respect, Congressman, an apology would not suffice for me in this particular circumstance. This is a moral character bedrock of somebody's perspective of the world. I don't care what you got on your grades at Stanford. I don't care what coding competition you won. These are not the kinds of people who should be filtering the biggest decisions in the design of this
So what,
country.
he's banished off into the desert for eternity? Like, wreck his life, wreck his career, send him off into
So you're
nobody.
okay with racism in your party?
Hold on, man. Let me finish. That is not what I said, so don't even go there. Absolutely not. I think it's abhorrent what he said. I frankly agree. If he's willing to acknowledge what he said was wrong and apologize for it, we are a compassionate people. Why can't we give?
He didn't do that.
Well, we don't know that he's done that or not.
But he has access to the World Wide Web. And you're welcome to apologize. We're very much looking forward to it.
I'm just saying.
And also, the congressman asked JD Vance, the vice president, should this person apologize? Vance didn't say, yes, he should. He said, God, I mean, he said all kinds of terrible things about the congressman for whatever reason.
He acknowledged that the comments were sophomoric and terrible and all the stuff that he said.
And
racist.
Yeah. So this is not inappropriate.
He called the guy a racist troll, and now he's like, come back to the government.
JD Vance would have been better served if they just disowned this in the beginning. Like, this is one of those easy things to do. It wouldn't have been much backlash against JD Vance and Donald Trump if Elon Musk just decided, okay, well, this guy's going. I think this is more about Elon Musk's guy than anything else, because in most other situations, they'd have just said, okay, we're going to cut ties with you, which is exactly what they ended up doing. But I still think that this part of this connection to Elon Musk, where many people have Donald J. Trump as president, JD Vance as vice president, but then Elon Musk, as a Republican member of Congress, described him as Prime Minister Musk. I think putting Elon Musk on the same level of Donald J. Trump, where we excuse everything that he does, I think that that's just really problematic.
Vance is wrong in that the information that we are receiving, the slurs that we receive as black and brown people, as women online, is hurtful, right? This is not, it doesn't matter, woke culture is worse. That's not true. And this individual works in government. When I go to my government and ask them for something, for help, do I have to worry that the person on the other end of the email or phone is racist and actually hates me and has been online saying, we think you should be whatever, deported or whatever?
He should apologize.
I mean,
that's at a
but it's
minimum.
not just-
He should just have an
Absolutely, I'm
apology.
not arguing. I completely agree with that.
But again, like I do want to challenge us. This isn't an apology. Like I have a 5-year-old at home. He says he's sorry, and he does not mean it to his sister all of the time. It's just to get through the thing. I believe that the Trump administration was so eager for a moment like this to be like, see guys, don't worry, we're gonna save you. We're gonna make these things insignificant. We're gonna decurrency these kinds of statements and provide air cover. I agree with you. I think they chose the wrong one to die on the hill of. But we, as a society, as much as you want to strip DEI and wokeism and CRT, it's not going to work.
Well, look,
we're all still
I
here.
think that what this is happening in the context of a lot of other things in this government. And part of the point that I'm trying to bring to the table is that this is the same government that is saying at the Department of Defense, we're going to stop acknowledging Black History Month. We're going to go into DOD schools and address what they are learning there. This is from Jamie Raskin. He says he received this memo from constituents abroad on a U.S. military base who are parents in the DOD school system. They are outraged at censorship like this is happening against military families. One asked a school official why they removed photos on the wall of Susan B. Anthony and Dr. King, but not Leonardo da Vinci, and was told, quote, he was a real historical figure. This is also happening in the same government. So I don't know, how are we supposed to interpret this with our eyes and our ears?
Well, I'm not familiar with that and what's going on. Obviously, I would believe that is wrong. It should not be happening in our government, and I would love to know more about what happened. We're talking here, we're talking about two different things. If it's about DEI and qualifications for jobs versus giving somebody a second chance, that's what the difference here.
Those are not different things, okay? Because if we talk about qualifications for a job, and you're also telling me that you are willing to hire somebody who is a self-described racist, then how is that person qualified for a job serving the American people in the government?
Look,
What explains the vice
that a
president? Here's what I didn't understand. I mean, he was so emotional about this and such an outburst. I'm not saying that he's not condemning the racism. He did, but why can't he just say, yes, the person should apologize before being reconsidered? What is the hesitancy for him to say it? Is it political, that he doesn't want to offend a base? What is it that he can't say that?
Well, I came on here, I'd not seen your back and forth, I'll be honest with you.
Okay,
I can't speak. Look, I can't speak for the vice president, but I do know that he condemned the remarks from the outset.
But do you think he should, at the very least, say that before someone is hired, he should?
I'm not going to tell the vice president what he should or should not
So
say.
you're not.
I agree that I think the guy should at least acknowledge what he said was wrong.
And if he
apologize.
doesn't
I
do that
agree with you on
publicly,
that.
do you think he should be fired? The guy, if he doesn't acknowledge that.
Yes, I'm very clear. I think he needs
And
to
do you
acknowledge
think
that he should not be hired back.
And do you think it would be a big mistake in terms of the signal that Donald Trump and JD Vance are sending?
No, I'm not getting into the signals and stuff. I'm telling you what I think should happen.
I can give you the signals.
No.
Again, we are saying that we are here to protect racists and white supremacists and the manosphere. That's what we're here to protect.
But what signal do you think it sends